They say that blood is thicker than water. Still, unfortunately, some families have a history of violence and tragedy that stains their legacy. In this video, we will take a look at 4 infamous family murder cases that shocked the world. So stick to the end because you might save yourself from a gruesome reality check. Number 1. Catherine and Sheila Lyon. Mysteries are not necessarily miracles. So here's a mystery wrapped around 2 little girls, Catherine Mary Lyon, age 10, and Sheila Mary Lyon, just 12. On an ordinary day, March 25th, 1975, they simply disappeared into thin air, leaving their neighborhood in Wheaton, Maryland, gripped with fright and horror. In the blink of an eye, an extensive search mission was put into action. As the days turn into weeks, the family starts receiving chilling ransom calls, demanding a steep price for the return of their loved ones. Strangely enough, one caller even instructs them to leave $10,000 in an Annapolis courthouse restroom. The police step in, guiding the family to leave a much smaller amount in the ransom briefcase. But weirdly enough, no one ever came to collect. Now let's fast forward a bit. About a week after the disappearance, a young man named Lloyd Welch shows up at the Wheaton Plaza shopping mall. Claiming to have been present on the day the girls vanished, he tells a bizarre tale about another man with a tape recorder who was talking to the girls. Interestingly, the police sketch of this man bore a striking resemblance to a mugshot of Welch himself. As the mystery deepened, a 2014 police investigation revealed that Welch had a pretty hefty rap sheet, even making an arrest for burglary in Montgomery County, just 8 blocks from Wheaton Plaza. Between 1973 and 1977, he was tangled in various serious charges, including multiple rape accusations and a child molestation conviction. He was indicted for the abduction and murder of Catherine and Sheila Lyon after 40 years. Given his age and overlapping sentence from an unrelated Delaware case, he is sentenced to 48 years behind bars. Number 2. A.J. Freund. On April 21, 2019, the community of Crystal Lake, Illinois, was in shock when reports came in that a 5-year-old boy named Andrew A.J. Freund had gone missing. Described as a bright and energetic child, AJ's parents frantically called the police to report his disappearance. During the search for AJ, his mother, Joanne Cunningham, started posting on social media asking for prayers and help to find her son. But as days go by with no sign of AJ, more details start to emerge about the family's troubled past. It turns out that AJ's mother, Joanne, had a history of drug abuse and child neglect, and she killed his own son. This mother, burdened with the weight of her past actions, is stepping up to challenge the judgment cast upon her. She had previously taken responsibility for the demise of her young 5-year-old boy, a fact that causes heartache just to mention. Yet it is one she carries with her every day. Now she has decided to challenge her conviction and the 35-year sentence that came with it. On April 15, 2019, the Cunningham household, when Mom, Cunningham, discovered a pair of dirty undergarments that her son had attempted to keep hidden, anger filled her. The consequence for the boy, as meted out by his mother, was distinctly grim. She insisted that he endure a lengthy, frosty rinse in the shower, not shorter than 20 minutes, followed by a painful hit to the head with the shower head. Going beyond the bounds of reason, she sent him to sleep without any warmth, his body still dripping with cold water and devoid of clothing. This distressing chain of events portrayed the facts shared by law enforcement.
Defendant doesn't hide who he is. He's shown you who he is. He's shown you by wearing that earring. He's shown you by choosing the password apathy as a child abuse investigator.
The situation further descended into tragedy when the young boy's lifeless body was discovered, carefully veiled in a plastic wrap. It was situated in a hastily dug, shallow grave close to the family's home, nestled in the beautiful area of Crystal Lake. During the poignant period of AJ's passing, Cunningham was on the verge of motherhood again. Meeting life within life's tough times, she embraced her newly born daughter within the somber surroundings of McHenry County Jail. A bundle of innocence came into the world during not-so-perfect circumstances. A younger son of hers, a tiny tot around 2 years junior to AJ, along with a newborn sister, were ushered into the nurturing world of foster care. This decision, though hard, ensured they were in a safe and caring environment where they could grow and thrive. Cunningham is now at the Logan Correctional Center in Lincoln for a life sentence. Number 3, Lori and Chad Daybell. Before Lori became so well known, she was simply Lori Vallow, a wife to her businessman husband, Charles Vallow. According to friends of the couple, they seemed to be joyfully married. Together they were raising Tylee Ryan, Lori's daughter from a past relationship. However, come the year 2017, family members noticed a shift in Lori's relationship with her children. Friends pointed out that she had become engrossed in the writings of a doomsday author, none other than Chad Daybell. Daybell, having penned a number of fiction books revolving around the end of the world, resided on the outskirts of Rexburg, Idaho. In 2018, their paths crossed. Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell happened to meet, and as Lori's friends recount, there seemed to be an instant spark between them. This turned into a collaboration for religious podcasts. It's worth mentioning that Daybell was a married man who raised 5 children with his wife, Tammy Daybell. Charles's life was tragically cut short during an attempt to drop their son, Juddy J, at school, ending fatally at the hands of Lori's brother, Alex Cox. Alex defended himself to the police, saying that Lori and Charles had a violent disagreement, and he shot Charles in an attempt to protect his sister. On September 22, Alex was seen taking JJ into Lori's apartment. The next day, Lori told them that JJ was behaving like a zombie and that Alex had taken him away. Unimaginable as it seems, both Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow Daybell were indicted on first-degree murder for the deaths of JJ and Tylee. Daybell also faced charges for the murder of his initial wife, Tammy Daybell. Lori was additionally accused of scheming to murder Charles Vallow. Fast forward to May 2023, Vallow Daybell was found guilty of her involvement in the deaths of her 16-year-old daughter, Tylee Ryan, her 7-year-old adoptive son, Joshua J. Vallow, and her husband's first wife, Tammy Daybell. She was sentenced to live out the rest of her days behind bars without the option for parole. Despite pleading not guilty, her husband, Chad Daybell, didn't fare any better. In May 2024, he was found guilty on all counts. Number 4, Jean-Claude Vermonde. Did you know in France, a man who posed as a successful doctor for almost 2 decades had a secret double life that ended in a horrific tragedy? Jean-Claude Vermonde, 65, gained his freedom in 2019 after serving 26 years behind bars. This infamous Frenchman had been convicted of killing his parents, wife, and children. After his release, he didn't waste time choosing a secluded life in a monastery. Pulling out from the Saint-Maur prison near Bourges in central France, Vermonde immediately found solace in the secluded Benedictine monastery in Fontainebleau. Yes, he was released last night, confirmed Jean-Louis Abad, his lawyer. An unnameable source close to the case verified Vermonde's quiet relocation to the Fontainebleau Abbey. Well, let me fill you in on something else. Vermonde's homecoming wasn't just a simple affair. His housing arrangement had to be endorsed by the judiciary, and it's still under wraps what role he will partake in the monastery. Vermonde holds the reputation of being one of the most notorious killers in France. The tragedy unfolded in 1993 when his double life was about to be exposed. He killed his parents, wife, and 2 children. For nearly 20 years, he had concocted a life story about being a successful doctor and researcher at the Geneva-based World Health Organization. As fate would have it, an appeals court handed him parole on April 25th. But he isn't entirely off the hook. He will remain under electronic surveillance for 2 years, forbidden to contact the civil parties involved in the case or talk about his crimes to the media. Quite intriguingly, Vermonde's case has piqued public curiosity and even inspired the arts. Emmanuel Carrère featured his story in the book L'Adversaire, The Adversary, later adapted into a 2002 film starring the renowned French actor Daniel Auteuil. Furthermore, his story was the backdrop for the 2001 film L'Emploi du Temps by French director Laurent Cantet. Vermonde had artfully managed to hide his failure to qualify as a doctor. But as the walls closed in, creditors threatening exposure, Vermonde, then aged 38, resorted to the heinous crime. The monastery, where Vermonde will lead his new life, carries its own checkered past. It once provided shelter to the pro-Nazi Lion militia leader, Paul Touvier, during the 1970s. A devout Catholic, Touvier took refuge with Catholic monks around France for 45 years before his arrest in 1989 at a chapel in Nice. In the peaceful village of Fongombeau, residents seemed unfazed by the notorious convict's arrival. Jean-Claude Roman's arrival was known to all of us. Only the monks and the mayor feigned ignorance, shared Karen, a local shopkeeper. She further affirmed, "This won't disrupt our peaceful lives, and the monks can take care of themselves." Christophe, a local in his 50s, expressed, "He will be wearing an electronic bracelet. He is most likely no longer a threat. At least it helps decongest the prisons. Though it might be tough for the family, we must say it's easier for us." Sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones walking among us. Which of these cases shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more chilling true crime stories. Stay safe until next time.